Okay, this is Gary O'Brien here. To review, I'm going to start doing the Attitude Era again, but I'm going to start from 1997 because I said I might as well just start from 1997 up to whenever 2002 when it kind of officially finished. Just going to do pay-per-views, not going to be doing episodes of Raw, but I will be looking up on stuff. And so we'll start with the 1997 Royal Rumble, which was held in San Antonio, Texas, in front of over 60,000 people. I said to myself, this is going to be a good, decent pay-per-view, hopefully now to start off with, but as I watched it, I must say it's probably one of the worst WrestleManias I've ever watched, because I haven't watched any of the earlier Royal Rumbles. I think since '98 I've watched the Royal Rumble. I've watched the one where Shawn Michaels won the Royal Rumble, but that's because it was on a DVD that I bought. But other than that, I've not really watched any more. I might actually start watching them from now on to kind of watch more of the old school wrestling, as they say. So that's why I've started to do 1997 first, because it is an important year, kind of towards the end of '97 is kind of important towards people, towards the Attitude Era and whatever. Obviously with other characters like Stone Cold kind of get more and more, kind of the crowd getting more into them. Same with Rock and Triple H and other people. So let's get started, shall we? Triple H defeats Goldust to retain the Intercontinental title in a bad opening match. Seriously, like the crowd in this whole fucking event basically was absolutely terrible. Like, except for maybe the main event, that was about it. The rest of the matches, like, they just couldn't give a fuck. Goldust and Triple H brawl in the entrance ready to start off with. Goldust then counters the pedigree. And pushes Triple H onto the outside of the ring, then hits Triple H with the stairs into the back. The referee gave Goldust and Triple H got away with a lot of things in this match that you wouldn't think they would have back then, because really referees back then, I think if you hit the fella outside the ring, I'd say if you hit anything with anything, if you throw someone into the steps even back then, I think he got disqualified. But like, the referee really gave him a lot of freedom in this one. Clothesline gets two of them for Goldust back in the ring. Then Triple H throws Goldust's shoulder first into the ring pole. Triple H then charges towards Goldust on the outside, just bashes right into the what would you call those? He basically goes knee first into the guardrail. Then Goldust hits Triple H then with the steps onto his knee. Basically starts working the knee back into the ring. Goldust then again starts working on the knee, doing a few leg locks. Goldust then called Triple H basically a piece of shit, which I found so fucking funny. It was just literally, you're a piece of shit. So, very nice. Mr. Hughes gives Triple H then the Intercontinental title, but instead of hitting it, he puts it down and kisses Marlene, and then Goldust hits Triple H with the IC belt. That gets two thanks to Mr. Hughes breaking it up the pin. He gets distracted. Triple H then gets the pedigree for the win. So overall, it wasn't a great. It wasn't. I tell you one thing, it was one of the worst opening matches I've seen. Probably would be up there anyway. So I'll give it a star at very best, which is basically being fucking generous there. But when you think this match was bad, the next one was, oh god. Ahmed Johnson defeats Farooq by disqualification in a god awful match. I don't know why I'm giving this a quarter star. But this is originally supposed to start, I think, where this match really supposed to start at SummerSlam, I think, or something in late '96 anyway. But I think Ahmed Johnson got injured. The whole of the Nation of Domination are with Farooq. Basically, Johnson just runs to the ring, attacks Farooq, and then they go out on the outside. Johnson slams Farooq's head into the ring post. Farooq then tries to use the belt but fails to do so and gets a flying clothesline for his troubles. Johnson then gets the belt and starts whipping Farooq with it. Again, the referee gave him a lot of leeway there. Farooq then throws one of the Nation members into Ahmed, and then he basically just eats a clothesline. Farooq uses a chair on Ahmed's kidneys. Again, the referee, I don't know why he did not call for a disqualification. And then Farooq then with an ugly spine buster. Ahmed Johnson comes back then with a spine buster of his own, which was actually a little bit better. And then the Nation just come in then basically and just beat up on Chance, and he basically just cleans house. Farooq then runs off, and then he basically power slams one of the Nation members through the French announce table, which was probably the best part of the match. So as I've said, I'll give that a quarter of a star. Next, then we see Vader defeating The Undertaker, and what was it? Yeah, I just to tell you one thing, I didn't even want to watch the rest of this after this match because it was so. I'll tell you one thing, but it was just again another piss poor match. And to be fair, these two I think this match was just made just for the hell of it. Really, another awful match. Vader beats The Undertaker. I didn't see it getting any better, if I'm being quite honest. The last two matches, yeah, were fine, but it's just it was really hard watching, really. Nothing really good about the match. The crowd again were, oh god, this crowd. I'll tell you one thing, you swear it was 2012 or 13 the way this crowd was. Like a typical crowd that'd be at a WWE event now. I think Undertaker gets it. I think Undertaker gives Vader a low blow or something. Doesn't even get a reaction from the crowd. Vader gets the Vader bomb, only gets 2. Taker chokeslams Vader, and then all of a sudden Paul Bearer comes out of nowhere. He gets a punch from The Undertaker, and then I think when the referee's distracted, Bearer just basically smashes the urn off Undertaker's skull. He's basically out of it, and then Vader gets the Vader bomb for the win. So basically I'm going to end it at there because I'm going to give it a star. It was a better match, I must say, than the first two. So, but that was about it really. It was a bit more fluent about the match, but for a big man match it wasn't the worst match of all time, but just really again though there wasn't really there anything that would make you jump out of your seat. But at the end of also though the crowd were jack shit basically. The next match then was Héctor Guerrera, Paulo Aguayo and El Kinky whatever his fucking names, versus Jerry Estrada, Heavy Metal and Fuerza Guerrera. Yeah, and a dud I'm giving this match. Honestly, it's Lucha Libre basically. I think they're from a AAA company in Mexico. This is basically as what I've read up on this basically just to kind of get back at WCW. Obviously WCW were kicking WWF's ass basically in the ratings, and quite frankly, I tell you what, this match was awful. Like I didn't even write down anything for this match. Definitely the worst match by a country mile. Like the first 4 matches on this card were absolutely disgraceful. Like that's why WWF got bets. It's a good job. The fact is though, WCW did get so fucking complacent. That's their original deal, and plus WWE were coming back into it, or WWF, whatever. We're getting back into it with very good characters like Stone Cold, The Rock, whatever, Degeneration X and whatever. But still, WCW, the reason why they were ahead is the fact is then again, WCW didn't have the greatest pay-per-views either, but it's the fact is they had the better, it's the cruiserweights, is what these people were, but obviously these lads were basically just fucking the sloppy seconds basically. But as I said, I'm giving this match a straight dud. So next match then is the 1997 Royal Rumble match, and I must say this match wasn't the greatest either. I'll tell you one thing, it's probably one of the worst Rumble matches I've seen so far. I think overall I gave it 2 3/4 maybe. I think I gave it 2 3/4 stars. It's my favourite match of like you can't hate the Royal Rumble match, but it's just like it was like a job fest, and it wasn't just a job fest. The fact is, it was like 7 Lucha Libres, not many big stars at all. So in came Crush at number 1, and then ironically Ahmed Johnson then was in the number 2. Crap brawl to start off with. Not much really there. Then fake Razor Ramon's in the number 3. He's in for about 20 seconds, and Johnson gets rid of him. Johnson eliminates himself, gets over the top rope and runs after Farooq, which I just fucking don't get. Maybe it was booking, or maybe it was just the fact is he wasn't thinking straight. I don't give a crap really, to be quite honest. Next then is Phineas Godwin. Austin then comes in at number 5. Crush then goes bye bye, and Phineas goes as well thanks to Stone Cold. Bart Gunn's in at number 6. He's in again for literally like a couple of seconds. Jake the Snake Roberts is in at number 7, which good to see. Basically, obviously himself and Austin have a bit of history. Jake, to be fair, he kind of owned for a little while until he called for the DDT and got himself basically eliminated, thanks also to Austin. British Bulldog is in at number 8 and controls Austin. Perro is in at number 9, another fucking crappy Lucha Libre wrestler, I think. The Sultan is in at number 10 with the Iron Sheik. Mil Mascaras is in at number 11. Who the fuck is he? Another Lucha Lee shit. Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley is in at number 12. Finally, an elimination occurs when Bulldog gets rid of the Sultan, Owen Hart then is in at number 13. Owen and the British Bulldog, obviously the tag team champions, team up in Stone Cold. But Owen, basically, when Austin and Bulldog were kind of hanging from the ropes, he basically eliminates Bulldog. And so basically then that's obviously going to lead to a bit of friction probably. Goldust then is in at number 4. C. Minko is in at number 15, another Lucha Libre wrestler who I've never heard of. I should start kind of looking up these things, but at the end of the day I just don't have the time. Another person, as I've just said, the Wild Man, Mark Mero is in at 16. C. Minko and Perro get eliminated by Mil Mascaras. Then he drops over the top rope, another interesting one, onto both of them, and yet again eliminates himself, which is absolutely fucking stupid. They obviously don't get the rules of the Royal Rumble. Or that, or it was booked, I do not know. Goldust then eliminates Hunter Hearst, having a bit of revenge for the... basically, it took him 2 attempts to, but still got rid of him. Latin Lover is in at number 17. Yeah, who gives a fuck? Who the fuck is... Like, so many bad wrestlers. I think, really, this was the worst Royal Rumble probably ever. Match itself, probably up there, innit? Not impressed, if I was quite honest. Owen Hart then throws out Goldust. Farooq is in at number 18. He dumps his ass out of the ring. Johnson comes out and basically hits Farooq with a 2x4, literally the size of probably an average human being, into the back, and then gets him eliminated. Austin eliminates Owen Hart and Mark Mero. Number 19 is Savio Vega. Austin basically eliminates Vega within a matter of seconds. Next in is Double J Jesse James, which turned out to be the Road Dogg after a while. He lasts again about 30 seconds. Fuck's sake. Then Bret Hart then comes in at number 21. And those two have a pretty decent brawl. Hart then gets the sharpshooter, which really doesn't really work for the Royal Rumble, if you ask me. And then Jerry the King Lawler is in at number... It's so funny, it's good to be the king and all that, and basically literally lasts, within 8 seconds maybe at best, thanks to Bret Hart. Fake Diesel's in at number 23. Terry Funk in at number 24. Rock is in at 25, and Mankind is in at number 20. Still nothing really fucking happening though. That's the problem. Usually I'd have about 4 or 5 pages of, like, I'd be typing down what I'd be watching and all that. And literally I was there saying, come on, give me something to write about. But no, then in at number 27 then is Flash Funk. Crowd yet again were fucking dead throughout this whole Rumble nearly. Like, I don't know. Really only 2 things happened really in the match really. Vader's in at number 28, Henry Godwin is 29, and obviously Taker is the last man in at number 30. Taker chokeslams Austin and Vader, obviously not at the same time. Vader then eliminates Flash Funk. Taker then eliminates both Mankind and Henry Godwin. Then he eliminates Rocky Maivia, and then Mankind suplexes Terry Funk out of the ring. He's basically on the outside himself, and then basically Taker just boots him out. Mankind as well, so they basically start brawling on the outside, and the rest are distracted. So Bret Hart eliminates Stone Cold, but referees obviously don't see it, so Austin comes back in and eliminates both Vader and The Undertaker. Fake Diesel gets eliminated by Bret Hart, and then basically Bret Hart is celebrating. Austin fucks him out. So Austin is your winner of the 1997 Royal Rumble match. Overall, it's a piss poor Rumble, but kind of the last kind of 10-15 minutes of it kind of lived up a little bit, so I'll give it 2 3/4 stars. Next then we have the main event for the WWF Championship. Shawn Michaels defeating the Psycho Sid Vicious, and what was actually a very good match, I must say. I wouldn't say it saved the pay-per-view, but I enjoyed watching the match, let's just say. But Shawn Michaels entrance, like, he got some mad ovation. He just, like, I know it was his hometown, but at the end of the day, like, it was the biggest pop of the fucking year for him. But the crowd went crazy. There were a lot of fans there for Sid Vicious there as well, actually. You see him. So it started off really with Sid pushing HBK onto the mat twice. HBK comes back with a flying clothesline. The crowd are going nuts for this match. Like, they're really red hot for it, and which was good, because like, I wish they were like, if the matches were any better. We say the opening match had been slightly better, maybe the crowd would have got into it. And Vader and Taker could have been a lot better match, but what can you do? Maybe the fact is they couldn't do much, because the fact is that they were going to be in the Rumble match as well, in which they didn't want to be tiring themselves out. Maybe, I don't know. Where was I? They go out to the outside. Sid goes for a power slam, but HBK goes for the eyes. Basically scratches the eyes, counts it into a slam from Sid, which gets only a 2 then. Then they're out again to the outside. Sid throws HBK back first into the ring post twice, gets into the ring, then gets a 2. Then Sid throws HBK twice into the turnbuckles, and then puts on the bear hug, basically working the back, which good psychology, which I must admit. Really good match so far. HBK comes back then with a few clotheslines, elbow off the top rope, and then goes to switching music, but Sid counts it. Sid throws HBK back onto the outside, and then power bombs him onto the floor, basically, which again was good. Ref gets bumped, which I'm not happy about. Sid then gets his choke slam in, but another ref comes in, only gets 2. He hits the other referee. Then while the other referee's getting his bearings together, HBK slams a camera into the skull of Sid Vicious, and then that only gets 2, but then gets back then with a switching music for the win. So overall, a very enjoyable match, I must admit. I really enjoyed watching it. It was a good match. Now, some little things that bothered me, like with the ref, I don't like refs getting bumped, but 3.5 stars. You could give it 4 stars if you wanted to, but I'll give it 3.5. But 4 stars minimum this match would get, and probably the least you would give maybe 3 3/4. But I'm going to kind of go in the middle and give it 3.5. So overall, probably, well, for me first video back, I'm really disappointed. I really wanted to kind of have a good pay-per-view to start off the series, but unfortunately, what can you do? Overall, I'm giving it a 3.25 actually. Don't think it was. That's probably the low. I think that's the lowest rating I've ever given a pay-per-view, if I'm being honest. Because I've done other pay-per-views on my old YouTube accounts. Like, I've had many YouTube accounts due to the fact that you forget your passwords and all that. You just, like, and then obviously with this new YouTube thing, I've had to make up a new account because I want to use my other account just for chatting, basically. So overall, as I said, I'll give this a 3.25. My next pay-per-view will be WWF In Your House 13, which is the final 4, the Fatal 4-Way for the WWF title, which hopefully I might be able to get done within the next couple of days. I'm watching it currently at the moment, but obviously I have stuff in my life I have to get. I have obviously do have a life, so I will be not doing many of them. I'll probably do maybe 2 a week, maybe, hopefully, maybe even the odd third one, maybe. I might do a few over Christmas as well, because I do get a little extra time over Christmas. So this was Gary O'Brien, and thank you for listening. So I will talk to you there. Take care.